And thank you for joining us. I'm Carolyn Batetta, and I'm the CEO of Visit California. And this media availability really represents the capping off of a very successful and historic diplomatic mission that we've done, and we'll be continuing on to Canada tomorrow. Before I get into the substance of what we're here to share with you today, I want to take the time to just introduce who you're going to be joined by and who you'll be hearing from today. First, we have Mayor Kevin Faulconer and Mayor Ed Lee, as well as Jorge Gutatura from Aeromexico. And on this side, we have our destination executives, Mr. Joe D'Alessandro from the San Francisco Travel Association, Mr. Joe Terzi, San Diego Tourism Authority, Mr. Jay Barres from the Anaheim Tourism Authority, and Patty McJennett, Los Angeles Tourism and Convention Board. So you'll be hearing from them today as well. This trip was really driven by the engagement factor and, frankly, the fact that we share so much more than just a border here in California with our friends and family and business colleagues in Mexico. We share a heritage, a culture, and a lifestyle. And the purpose of this trip was really to engage our friends with the travel trade and the media, and of course, Mexicans from all over the country, that you are supported and that we wanted to roll out the red carpet in terms of a welcome to our friends. It's a critically important market for all of us, and because of that tight connected ties that we have, it's really created incredible business and economic opportunities for both states. And it's something we very much sincerely appreciate and want to continue. And we really wanted to step out that messaging under the basically message, California, all dreams welcome. This is not a campaign, it's rather an initiative that supports our existing investment, which is about $3.5 million in the Mexico market. And combined with all of our destination CEOs that are here today, it's more upwards of $6 million that we've invested in for decades in this market because it's so important. In fact, Mexico is California's #1 market. We see about 8 million Mexicans a year coming into California for vacation experiences, and they're spending an astounding $3.2 billion, staying an average of 8 nights, and some of our highest per capita spenders. The All Dreams Welcome initiative is a very critical part of our campaign that we launched this year called California Living the Dream. And it really rolls up into our brand positioning statement, California Dream Big. Because as we look at the shared spirit and entrepreneurial personality of both these states, we know that so many great things have been done because of this incredible and exceptional trading corridor. With that, this became the worldwide premiere of this initiative. It's meant to be a global initiative, but we started with Mexico because there's a distinct purpose in the fact that it is so important to us, and we wanted to reinforce that message. I'm about to show you some of our key signature content for this initiative. And what's interesting about it is these are real people actually experiencing California and their dream big vacations all over the state, and they're actually sharing them with all of us. So we're really excited to put this together, and I'll talk a little bit about the campaign after you see the content. So let's roll that. So a little taste of California. One of the key factors in the success is airlift, truly. And currently we're getting about 550,000 Mexicans every year via air. And that doesn't even count the more than 1 million that are coming into California via CBX. So we're thrilled about that. And we've engaged, as of a couple years ago, in a strategic partnership with our friends at Aeromexico, which represents a major part of the 4.5 million seats and growing that are coming into California every year. In fact, about 28,000 flights from Mexico to California. So with this strategic partnership, we launched the next evolution of that just yesterday in Mexico City at the corporate offices of Aeromexico, so that we can make sure that this message is spread as far and wide in terms of our sincerity of welcoming and being hospitable to all of our Mexican visitors, and really just roll out that red carpet and be so appreciative. Aeromexico currently has about 7,700 flights per year into California through multiple gateways. And that really helps spread the success around the whole state and gives Mexicans reasons to come back over and over again for varied experiences. This partnership will include a branding initiative, onboard, point of sale, of course our California content, and agent training. I'm thrilled that we have our gateway partners here who are also financially invested in this brand new cooperative marketing initiative. Finally, just in closing for myself, I want to double down and just note that CBX, it's no accident that we chose this location. It represents both a literal and figurative bridge that connects both of our cultures, our people, our economy, and we see it as the link for prosperity as we go forward in the future, and just really strengthening and connecting those ties to our respective states and countries. So with that, I'll be back up, but first I'd like to introduce, it's an honor to introduce Mr. Faulconer, the Honorable Mayor of San Diego.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. Well, thank you, Carolyn, and thank you to everybody who's here today, and all of our speakers, but particularly Mayor Lee from San Francisco, my friend and colleague. It's, as I said, buenos tardes a todos. We are building bridges, and that's why we're here today, because we celebrate that. It is one of the things that makes our region very uniquely special. San Diego and California, we are keeping our doors open, and that's what today is all about. As Carolyn said, travel from Mexico is incredibly important to all of us in California. And there probably is no other city that understands this more than San Diego. In the San Diego-Tijuana mega region, we're partners. We share the same air, we share the same ocean, and we share the busiest land border crossing in the Western Hemisphere. And every single day, thousands of people use our legal crossings to conduct business and experience the rich cultures found on both sides of the border. We celebrate that. That is a strength. That is a competitive advantage for us. And it's why this initiative is so important. Over the last several years, the mayors of Tijuana and myself, we have worked to strengthen the ties between our two cities. We've signed agreements to make sure our city departments meet and share ideas regularly. And we've advocated for enhanced infrastructure along our border, like the Cross-Border Express, to make crossing more efficient. I use it myself quite frequently, I was just telling the mayor. And we've taken part in annual sessions to Mexico City and Washington, D.C. to advocate on behalf of our binational region. We have an incredible story to tell about what it means to be neighbors. And we're making sure that the world hears that. It's a story about how our firefighters have cross-trained together so that we know that our friends across the border are ready to help when we need them. It's a story about how collaboration has led to good-paying jobs and economic prosperity for Americans and Mexicans alike. It is a story about our shared success. And there's no question that what we're doing here in San Diego and Tijuana, it works. And our international borders may divide our cities, but we are united as I said, through our tourism, through trade, through our culture, through our families. And that is something that we celebrate. Just an example, we were talking about tourism and our economy. Together, we have the largest hub of medical device manufacturing in the world. Together, we fought for significant improvements to the busiest border crossings in North America. And together, we set an international example of how two cities can join together for the good of its citizens. At the end of the day, we have so very much in common. We want the same things. We want clean air. We want safe neighborhoods. We want good jobs. And we want to build a better future for our families and for our children. And we want to let the region know we love and encourage that tourism. Helps keep us stronger. And the only way that we help keep those bonds stronger is to keep the exchange of culture, goods, ideas flowing freely. So on behalf of my city, to all of our visitors from far away, you are very welcome in San Diego. Those doors are open, and we extend our hand of friendship. And now a couple words in Spanish before I turn it over. Viaje de México es muy importante para California. Y no hay otra ciudad que entiende es más que San Diego. En la mega región de San Diego-Tijuana compartimos el mismo aire, compartimos el mismo mar. Nuestras dos regiones están unidos. Y la única manera de mantener esta unidad es con el seguido intercambio de cultura, ideas y productos. Les digo hoy, de parte de mi ciudad, ustedes siempre son bienvenidos a San Diego. Gracias a todos. Gracias.
Thank you, Mayor. That was so moving. And I just want to recognize these two mayors because they really have been incredible ambassadors for all of California, representing Northern and Southern California. So with that, our mayor from the North, Mayor Lee, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Caroline. And this has been a marvelous trip. I just got off the airplane on Aeromexico from Mexico City. And Mayor, it's great to see you again and lovely to be in your region. It reminded me, I hadn't been down in Tijuana since college days. So that's another story. But I know that we're all together in making sure that we have this wonderful connection that Visit California is sponsoring. I'm here because I know that as people that are visiting here across border, they'll eventually make it up to San Francisco. And San Francisco is joining this entire effort with the state of California to not only promote, to send and resend the message of welcome to the people of Mexico, to make sure you understand that we don't have walls in our cities. We are, in fact, as the mayor said, building bridges and creating bridges and opportunities for people to come, to visit, to exchange. And I want to say that in San Francisco, this year is a special year for us because we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Summer of Love. And if you recall your Summer of Love days, it was a time in which we were really wanting society to be open, to be welcoming, to look at people and not just politics, and to make sure that we opened ourselves to other cultures. Well, this is what the welcome message is all about, and it's still relevant 50 years later in San Francisco, but I suggest in our relationship with Mexico and the United States, particularly through California and great cities like San Diego and San Francisco and all the other cities in between. We are ready for even more experiences of welcome. My city, in addition to the Summer of Love with all the events, concerts that we'll have all the summer to make attractions, we also are making sure that we're building our city in a way in which it is welcoming for the future. So we have lots of things that are going on. And of course, our culture and our relationship with Mexico is intertwined for decades, whether it's business or language or arts. And in doing so, we are building the first Mexican museum in San Francisco right now. It'll open in 2 years, and it'll house the largest collection of Mexican art in all of the country, right in the Yerba Buena Center. in 2 years. It's already under construction. That's another significant reflection of how intertwined we are in culture. It'll be right across the street from the Museum of Modern Art, right in the center of our art and culture in San Francisco. We have created a cultural enclave called Cali 24, right in the center of Mission, which we regard as the center where Latino rock and roll started. And of course, the mural movement, when Diego had his opportunity and made sure that we have murals all across our city. At the same time, we are building the Golden State Warriors Arena in our city right now, and that'll be another attraction, another place for conventions, obviously for sports, but for large concerts and things of a cultural advantage too for large groups. We have transportation centers that we're completing in 2 years. The Transbay Transit Center, which is the heart, where we hope that in the very near future, an electrified Caltrains will arrive right downtown in San Francisco, and we'll be completing the Central Subway at the same time. And then we're building 5 more hotels, hundreds of hotel rooms will be available. All of that in an effort to say tourism, which everybody doesn't know yet. I think when we say San Francisco, everybody thinks we're the tech city. And of course, we have a lot of technology innovation. But we actually, the #1 economic driver in San Francisco is tourism and conventions, #1. And it has a multiplier of 2 or 3 times when you're talking about the hotel workers, the restaurants, the culinary scene. So we have a tremendous investment, not just in tourism, but in our relationship with the people of Mexico. And I wanted to make sure that my personal appearance here and as part of this Visit California, it's really all about making sure that everybody knows that it's always about the people of getting together. When you exchange business and culture and art, when you receive each other with the embracement that this message has, it will always be that people should always get together, and that will make both sides of the borders and all of our cities that much stronger. So thank you again, and I have the pleasure of welcoming up here Jorge, who is Aeromexico, and we have a great business partner, Aeromexico, for sure, because they're going to be transporting thousands of people all year round to all of our major cities and airports. So come on up, Jorge.
Thank you very much, Mayor Caroline. Thank you all, great delegation from California that it was in Mexico City yesterday. Big rain we have it, but I think it was fantastic to see the partnership between California and Mexico. So if you excuse me, I will switch to Spanish, or I will just transfer to Spanish. Okay? So muy buenas tardes a todos. Es un gusto estar con ustedes esta tarde y poder reforzar esta gran alianza de Grupo Aeroméxico con el estado de California. Y sin duda estamos en un lugar muy importante porque aquí es el mejor ejemplo de crear puentes y de crear un enlace entre nuestros países que funcione en forma eficiente. En Grupo Aeroméxico nos sentimos muy orgullosos de nuestra presencia en el estado de California. Hoy día operamos en 5 ciudades: Los Ángeles, San Francisco, Ontario, Sacramento y Fresno. Y a partir del 1 de julio estaremos también incrementando nuestra presencia en la bahía con nuestro vuelo desde Guadalajara a la ciudad de San José. Y para nosotros es un destino importantísimo California. El año pasado transportamos más de 1.4 millones de pasajeros entre el estado de California y todo México, pero además muy importante, siendo la aerolínea bandera de México y siendo realmente muy orgullosos de nuestro rol y muy responsables, igualmente fomentamos una conectividad no solo dentro de los 44 destinos que Aeroméxico ofrece, sino también fomentamos la conectividad desde Centro y Sudamérica hacia el estado de California. Y bueno, hoy día operamos más de 100 vuelos entre México y California, pero también este aeropuerto ha tenido un rol muy especial, un rol realmente relevante, y hoy operamos alrededor de 84 vuelos semanales. Y con esta gran con este gran proyecto, con este visionario proyecto del CBX, pues nos permite realmente tener una extensión a los aeropuertos del aeropuerto de San Diego y el resto de los aeropuertos de California a partir de este gran proyecto. Y déjenme darles un dato muy importante para nosotros. El año pasado en Tijuana transportamos más de 1.100.000 pasajeros, que a partir de este proyecto que se detonó representó un crecimiento de 27% año contra año. Así que estos proyectos realmente funcionan. Este enlace cultural, económico que hay entre ambas naciones es muy importante. Sin duda, California recibe un gran número de visitantes mexicanos, alrededor de 8 millones, y bueno, con este tipo de proyectos, sin duda, y con el compromiso que tenemos nosotros como Aeroméxico, seguiremos incrementando. Celebramos, sin duda, esta gran iniciativa de Visit California, All Dreams Welcome, y we're very, very committed to support all efforts to really engage this program and to work together to bring more visitors to California as we do bring U.S. people to Mexico. Sin más, bueno, pues les doy las gracias y les agradezco nuevamente su atención.
Thank you, and buenas tardes. My name is Joseph Terzi. I'm the President and CEO for the San Diego Tourism Authority. I'm honored to be here today to reinforce the fact that we recognize how important Mexico is to our city and our region. When you think about California, in 1 year, last year, there were about 8 million visitors to the state of California from Mexico, a huge number. The #1 visitation internationally to California is Mexico. The same is true for San Diego. We had almost 4 million visitors to San Diego from Mexico last year. The #1 country visiting our region is Mexico, and you would expect that because we are neighbors. We are connected in more than ways than anyone can expect. The border crossing, you may know, that's the single largest border crossing, busiest one in the Western Hemisphere. In 2015, 51 million people transferred through the border crossing northbound into San Diego, into California. So an amazing opportunity for us to continue to work with our neighbors to the south. I have had the pleasure of coming to Tijuana and Mexico over the last number of years, working with Huatuco in Tijuana and our friends through Baja on how we can work together to jointly promote this mega region. As the mayor said, he used all my best lines. So as the mayor said, we have a unique opportunity here, unlike any other city that I know of. We are neighbors, we are friends, we are connected from a business standpoint, we are connected from a friendship standpoint. We have friends and neighbors and family members that live on both sides of the border. So for us, it's only natural to make sure that we understand how important this part of the world is and how important Mexico is to us. We continue to work on ways to collaborate. I will tell you that we are working with all of Baja. So when we go and talk about San Diego, we don't just talk about San Diego, we talk about the region. We talk about coming to California, coming to San Diego, and how you can experience another country. We're so close and it's so accessible. And so from our standpoint, we think that's very important. That gives us another opportunity to talk about this wonderful region that we live in. The other thing is I'm heading to the Guadalupe Valley next month, and we're going to be working with a lot of the wineries in Guadalupe Valley and the culinary arts to talk about the unique experiences that you can find in the Guadalupe Valley. So we are absolutely committed to and have had the benefit of working with our friends in Mexico, and we will continue to do that. One of the things that we promote very heavily, and we're going to continue to do that, is the Cali Baja cuisine. So when you talk about the culinary experiences that you have in California, they're very unique in this region. We take the best of Mexico and the best of California, and we put it together, and we have a unique cuisine that we sell to the world. So we couldn't be happier. We want to make sure everyone knows that our San Diego City, according to the mayor, and our region and the mega region, we have our arms wide open. We always have had our arms wide open, and we want to make sure that we reinforce the message that San Diego is welcoming to all Mexicans, and that we encourage you to come. All dreams welcome in San Diego. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay Burress. I'm with Visit Anaheim. We're going to work our way up the coast here now, but thank you for being here today. I have the honor and distinct privilege to represent a city that was built on dreams. We talk about all dreams welcome. 61 years ago, a man selected Anaheim as the home for the original Disneyland park. Just celebrating 61 years, and we're very excited about that. His belief and theory was that Disneyland would never be complete as long as there is imagination left in the world. And they continue that theme with their newest attractions, opening one this weekend with the Guardians of the Galaxy opening up on the 27th, and then in 2019 with Star Wars Land making an addition to the Disneyland park in Anaheim. You know, Mexico has been a great partner of ours for many, many years, and we hope to continue that tradition. Nearly 23, or just over 23 million visitors came to Anaheim last year, and in Orange County, nearly 1 million visitors from Mexico arrived last year. We continue to improve our product from theme parks to shopping, from South Coast Plaza to Fashion Island, and continue to improve our hotels with new hotels opening, as well as our transportation within the city, including our newest transportation hub, the Arctic Rail Stop. We have boots on the ground here in Mexico. We have programs to train the travel trade, and we have long considered Mexico our top international market. New product, new sports, a new craft brew industry, yet a renewed partnership for our friends in Mexico, and all dreams are welcome in Anaheim. Thank you. With that, we'll continue to my neighbor to the north and introduce Patty McJennett, the Vice President, Senior Vice President from the Los Angeles Tourism and Convention Board.
Thank you. Good afternoon. And on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, I wanted to say a big thank you to Visit California, Aeromexico, CBX, our esteemed mayors for being with us today, and most importantly, all of you who are participating with us in this very special event. There is one individual who really wanted to be here today, and unfortunately could not, and that is our mayor, Mayor Eric Garcetti. He is very, very supportive of the Welcome Initiative that you'll hear a little more about, and wanted to be sure that I relayed his support and his solidarity with our mayors, Mayor Lee and Mayor Faulconer. Mayor Garcetti is actually a third generation of immigrants from Mexico, so he truly recognizes and very deeply values the important contribution that Mexico has made to Los Angeles and to California on so many dimensions. Like you've heard here today, Mexico is our #1 by far international market. We're also very pleased as a city, as Angelinos, that we do have the largest Mexican population outside of Mexico. And that is part of the reason that we are also able to offer today 350 nonstop flights a week from LAX to Mexico. And I will give a shout out to Aeromexico for their assistance with that. When we talk about Los Angeles, we talk about diversity, we talk about inclusivity, a lot of what you've heard also from our colleagues, the International Gateways here today. Tourism itself is about creating experiences, is to build relationships that also bind us closer together. And we wanted to really send that message out to certainly our potential visitors in Mexico and some of our key markets. So we created a video to do that, to send that message for us. And the message, you'll see in just a minute, is really everyone is welcome. So if we can, show that. Do I have the clicker? There it is.
Our hearts are free, so tell me what's wrong with the feeling. I'm a flower, you're the bee. It's much older than you and me. I'm in love, I'm alive.
So I also wanted to share with you that the distribution of this video far exceeded our expectations. Within the first 36 hours, it had gone viral, and as of last week, 18.3 million video views. And the most satisfying part for us was that 40% of those views were from Mexico, our largest market. So next, last, but definitely not least, I want to introduce my colleague to the north. Sometimes we're competitors, but always and foremost, we are partners and colleagues in promoting tourism. So let me introduce the CEO of San Francisco Travel, Joe Del Sandro.
Thank you, Patty, and it's my pleasure to represent San Francisco, one of the most romantic and beautiful cities in the world. It's a city of hills, it's a city of cable cars, it's a city of cuisine, the city of culture. It's also the gateway to all sorts of incredible attractions in Northern California, whether it's the wine country in Napa and Sonoma, the giant redwoods, the coastal highway, Yosemite National Park. It really does reflect another part of California. But my message here today is to really reinstate that our competitors, we compete against each other as different destinations in California. And so our other competitors who are here representing Palm Springs and Santa Monica and Santa Barbara and in Oakland and other places are here together for one message. And that's the message that we want to get across, that all Mexican visitors are welcome throughout California. We open our arms, we get this message very strong that you're welcome to come to California. We all want you to come, and we want to make sure that that message gets out. I'm going to conclude with a video that we're doing. This version is in English. Next week we'll have a version in Spanish. And it tells a story of San Francisco, a city that has always been welcoming to a lot of movements throughout history, and we're still welcoming today.
We're all different. We have different backgrounds. We like to do different things. And we come from different places. San Francisco doesn't just welcome our differences. We encourage them. We celebrate them. We even throw parties for them. It's who we've always been. And who we always will be. Because no matter who you are, or where you're from, you're always welcome to go wherever you want to go and be whoever you want to be. It's not just our philosophy, it's our promise. Because this is San Francisco. We're always open, always inviting, and you're always welcome. Never the same. Always San Francisco.
So my final message is, no matter what you hear from the American press, California is welcome, California is open, and we encourage you to come and visit. Got it. Thank you.
Right.